Can Alex Warren do a backflip?
Yeah, hell yeah. We call it a win.
Hey, I'm Alex Warren, and this is the Wired Autocomplete interview. This is really cool. It's my first time. I grew up watching this, and so now I'm holding one. Smaller in person, which I feel like I've been told that, and I can't imagine what it's like on the other side. What is Alex Warren? Question we ask a lot. What is Alex Warren's music about? Mostly about my parents dying and my wife, which is kind of the trifecta. I'm a one-trick pony if you think about it. This is so cool. Sorry, the first tear was like literally reliving my childhood dreams. This was so fun. Okay, cool. I can go home now. What is Alex Warren's most streamed song? It would be Ordinary. A lot of times when I play shows, at the end, we save that, obviously, and it's really cool to watch the sea of thousands of phones go up in the air.
Did you expect it to blow up?
When I wrote Ordinary, I was expecting it to do something. It was such a special song, and the way it came about was so cool, and I remember I ran to my label going, this is the song, and I had to fight for it, and I'm so happy I did. What is Alex Warren's new album called? My new album is called Wild Child, and I'm really excited about it. My dad used to call me Wild Child growing up, and my dad's a huge part of this album. And so when you listen to it, and I hope you do, you'll really get a sense of who I was and who I am and who I'm becoming. And to me, I am and will always be a wild child. So that's really cool. What is Alex Warren's vocal range? I think that if any professional was to listen to my vocals right now, they'd probably call me a lower tenor or a mid tenor. And if you ask people who don't like me, they're gonna say it's just screaming. So I think that you can do a deduction as however you would want. I often jump the octaves in a lot of my songs, which makes them very difficult to sing, but also very difficult when you're sick to take them down and make them easier, because the lower they go, the easier the top is, but the harder the bottom is. And that sounds like a sexual reference, but that is... This is so fun. Why don't people do this all day? I've dreamed of this. Sick. What is Alex Warren's best song? That's a great question. It depends on who you ask. I would say my best song right now is Fever Dream. I love that song. That is a song that when we wrote it, even to this day, me and my friends still put on. I love listening to my own songs. I write them for me. And so Fever Dream is just one of those songs that make me think of my wife the first time I met her, but also you put the windows down on the coast and you blast that record and it's the best. What was Alex Warren's childhood like? My childhood was very difficult. I lost my dad when I was 9 years old to cancer. After that, my mom was an abusive alcoholic who later drank herself to death. After that, I was homeless on the streets, where I met my wife online, as the modern romantic story, and she slept in a car with me. And my life got infinitely better, and my success in my career and in my life and my happiness grew even better when I met her. So Alex Warren's childhood was rough, but it made me who I am today, and I would have never met my wife. What happened? Alex Warren at the Grammys. That's dramatic. When I was performing the Grammys all week long, it went amazing. We had ran it so many times, and I think we didn't factor in the fact that there would be thousands of phones in the building. And so when I started at the top of the arena, they were like, okay, cool, here's your microphone, you can hear yourself. And I tested the microphone and I couldn't hear myself. Everyone thought it was my ears and then my pack. And so I'm shocked there's not any videos on the internet about this, but we stopped traffic on the left and the right when people were getting hot dogs and stuff. And when that happened, you could see me frantically panicking. And I ended up singing the entire beginning of the show without actually hearing what was happening. And once I actually walked into the arena, I got a huge echoing, took the ear out, had even more echoing. And by the end of it is when it got fixed. And by that time, I was terrified. But I think that if it can happen anywhere, especially the Grammys, then any kid who's watching this and watching that knows that it's normal, it's okay, and you got this, and it doesn't mean that you suck. Because I remember when that happened, I thought I sucked, and I was pleasantly surprised by the internet that I did not suck. What Alex Warren song is about his dad? A lot of them are about my dad. It just depends on which one you're looking for. I think with grief especially, when you are losing someone in your life, it is very easy to think that that is a feeling that only you understand and only you go through. I equate it to pretty much when I was growing up, I felt so alone, yet I was surrounded by so many people. That's what grief and loss feels like. So when I write these songs, I try to explain that feeling, but also I try to write little messages for my dad, because my dad left me videos, and so my songs are my message back to him. So my favorite one is Save Your Seat, That one is a song I wrote about getting married and hopefully one day having kids, and the fact that my dad won't be here, but I will always be saving him a seat in my life and talking about him and keeping him alive. That's my favorite one, and there's one on this album called I Miss You More. That is my favorite song I've ever written. It is so emotional, and I played it for him at his grave, and I think it's just the coolest thing I've ever written. So those are those. Felt better the second time. This is so fun. My God. Please, can we just do this every Friday? Confession, I love Googling myself. It is so fun, but I never get these questions. It's always like really self-deprecating. So this is awesome. What are Alex Warren's tattoos? The first tattoo I ever got was my wife did this one up here, and it's dated with the date, which was April 24th, 2020, during COVID. She got a tattoo gun, and she just started going at it. The most recent one she did was this shark right here, which I think was like a year ago. A lot of them are like no rain, no flowers. I got them all when I was in a pretty weird spot in my life. I really was battling with grief and everything. And so a lot of my tattoos are innuendos or mementos to my dad and my mom. Just a bunch of different things. I mean, this is a butterfly my wife did. My favorite animal is an elephant, which is right here. And yeah, last year or two, I really haven't gotten any tattoos. It's not that I hate them, I just don't necessarily, I want to wait till I have a kid and then figure out whether or not I want more tattoos. I love these questions. Okay. When did Alex Warren and his wife meet? My wife and I first met November 13, 2018. We were talking on Snapchat, out of all places. She was on my friend's story, sleeping or something, and she was like in a weird position, and I thought she was the most adorable girl I've ever seen, and so I slid up on it, and we had been inseparable ever since. And we started our long-distance relationship of April 2019. We lived together in a car for that moment, and we didn't get a place until June, I believe, of that year. And ever since I started dating her, my life has gone really well. So that's, she's like an angel that was sent in my life, which is really cool. When was Alex Warren on Love is Blind? That is lore, holy cow. That was the first performance I ever did on TV, which was Love is Blind. My wife and I love smut TV. It's one of our favorite pastimes that we do. We watch TV all the time that's like reality based, and I think it's just, we find it so entertaining. Love is Blind, we were watching the show, we got the call that they wanted me to be the first performance ever on the show, and that is what I'd like to say the catalyst of Ordinary blowing up on the streaming side. Does Alex Warren like Taylor Swift? I love her because I think she's just a genius. I think she's amazing. I think that she's so smart and so talented in an industry full of people telling her she could and she could. So I think that's pretty cool. All right. Now here's the questions that I get scared of. Why? I don't ask myself that question a lot, so this might be a revelation we might figure out. Why does Alex Warren have a bullet in his lung? Holy shit. I have a bullet in my lung. It's a 177 grain, so I think it's more closer to a pellet, but it is considered a GSW, I believe. The cops were called when I was in the hospital. It is in my lung because it would have been difficult to get out of my lung. It's stuck in my right lung, and it's encapsulated at around the middle part of it. It went through my liver, went up, missed my heart by a few inches, and went back down into my lung. The way that it's shaped is it's flat on the back and pointy on the front, and it went in my body like a pinball machine. Now, funny story about the guy who shot me, he officiated my wedding, which is even crazier. And I was just with him yesterday. He is like a father figure to me. When my wife and I were sleeping in a car, we didn't have a car to sleep in, and he gave me said car to sleep in. And yeah, he's actually my childhood best friend's dad. And we just had dinner last night. Why do Alex Warren and Somber have beef? The internet always puts me and Somber against each other. We had popular songs around the same time, and we look so much alike, which is what we get all the time, just the tall, sleek body and beautiful soul that we get compared to all the time. Somber and I like to fuck with each other. It's like a brother rivalry. He keeps calling me Unk and Chopped, so I ruined his dressing room, and in return, we have never stopped doing it. We play the same festivals and the same TV shows, and every single time he finds my trailer and I find his, and we try to wreak havoc. I love that kid to death. I don't have beef with him, but that being said, I hate you. Does Alex Warren respond to DMs? I stopped checking those. I try my best to look just in case one day Jennifer Aniston DMs me again. But in the meantime, I do check them sometimes. It just depends. It gets pretty hectic over there. Alex Warren, Finding Family on the Road, is my tour. I think it's really fun. I think a lot of times when you make music, especially since I started my music career in COVID, we couldn't play live shows. And so every chance I get to play a live show, I try to take them. And this tour especially, with how emotional I like to think my music is, it's really nice to be able to meet people and talk to people. And so I call it Finding Family on the Road because it feels small, it feels intimate. We're playing arenas with 15, 20,000 people a night, and it doesn't feel like that. It feels like it's a theater or a club, and it really feels something special to me. So I'm really, really happy and really blessed that it's like that. But it's such a fun show, and we're coming to an end, so I was really sad about it. This was really rad. This was a childhood dream come true. I just want to say thank Wired for having me be here, and I hope I get to come back and talk next year or the year after that and the year after that. So